Previously on Blogz.
My next wish is for Newlands Cricket Ground to do the right thing and rename the Wynberg end the Jacques Kallis end. Which you think there's the Garfield Sobers Memorial stand, there's a Donald Bradman stand. There just has to be the Jacques Kallis end. So, in future, be Dale stand from the Jacques Kallis end.
Yeah.
That's not
Totally,
hard.
totally. And it's got to be the Wynberg end, of course, for his alma mater.
Exactly, which is very well spotted there, Sean. Yeah. Well spotted. And it's not like they talk about why it's not like it's significant. It's just it's a suburb in Cape Town. It's like an easy change. It's like the Calvin Grove end, which is obviously the club, which has been there forever and ever. So change Wynberg end. Jacques Kallis end, done. Fourth wish of mine: every gold medalist at the Winter Olympics held in Russia to openly admit that they are gay. This will infuriate the local authorities, and it'll just make it into a farce, and also just draw attention to the fact that these Russians are very inhospitable people at the moment, and they might need to be pulled into check in world standards. My next wish is simply for the Springboks to beat the All Blacks. I'll take it anywhere. Even if they meet in Beaufort West on the main road, I'll take a win against the All Blacks anywhere. Next wish is for Charles Wassel to smile. As my friend Barry pointed out, not only that, for everyone to PVR it as proof as well. The next up, well, this is inevitable really, the IPL and F1 to basically team up and become one. Which makes sense because the IPL is a travelling circus, it should be. So they can go all the way around the world peddling their T20 stuff. They play in the middle of the track. It's not hard to make a T20 pitch. Make the boundaries 5 meters across. It's all about hitting sixes.
Superb.
And then we got pit crew made up of sort of reserves, like whoever the IPL auction has, just for shits and giggles. Have them there changing tyres. And then Ravi Shastri to do the double, commenting on the race on the outside and the sixes on the inside.
Oh, fantastic.
He will no doubt explode by about lap 4.
Oh, fantastic. And cheerleaders can double up as well. You've found the best marriage ever.
It really is. And Bernie Eccleston will totally buy it because it means more revenue, greater global exposure, and then it'll bring India into it because they've got Team Force India, don't they?
Yes, they do.
So every time Team Force India goes into the pits, it's a special power play on the field inside. See, I'm not even thinking about this. It's just flowing.
It just makes so much sense.
Yeah. Oh, my next wish is the SS Sports Awards to be reinvented as a TV extravaganza called So You Think You Are a Sporting Celeb. Now, all this happens is that every single category is actually voted for by the public. Let's not skimp here. I mean, if they're going to make the biggest one made by the public, go all of them. All that happens is the 3 contestants stand up on stage, and for a minute flat, they dance, they sing, they do all kinds of stuff, and they get voted on just like that. So, best up-and-coming sportsman, a minute, do what you want, votes. Easy as that. And then afterwards, in the credits roll, you can see all the sports administrators and politicians washing their hands with Johnny Platinum, while 200 Rand notes are used to light the Cuban cigars. It'll be easy TV rights again. Next wish, boots and all to somehow become watchable again. My wish after that, Lance Armstrong to host his own reality TV show. I think you see where I'm going with this. Sport can be entertainment so easily. Yes, Lance could host Dope Idol. It's easy. He travels coast to coast in America, finding like sort of semi-pros who are on the outskirts, basically. And with the help of performance-enhancing drugs and things, they will then try beat world records. So Lance will be motivating them, checking up on their EPO usage, see they're doing the right thing, and then we film them do this.
Before and after photographs inspiring drug users around the world.
Completely. The Oscar Pistorius trial to be very quick and efficient, as quick as it can be, so it doesn't overshadow any other sport. Next wish after that will be Arsenal to win the English Premiership. My next wish after that will be Sepp Blatter to be caught with a Brazilian ladyboy during the World Cup. Photos of said incident to be leaked to the world press. FIFA then tries to defuse the situation by accusing Ronaldo of being the ladyboy. That's not hard to do. That's a decent wish, I think. Next wish is Rory McIlroy to sever ties with Nike and become the world's best golfer again. It's, I think it's quite clear what's happened there. Nike's kind of always pulled him offline. Anyway, he got engaged to Caroline Wozniacki over the festive season.
Oh, they got back together.
Yeah, that's a good thing for him. Number 15 of my wishes, we're just running them off now. Jamaican sprinters not to fail any form of drug testing. It'd be nice to know there are some clean superheroes in sport. Next wish, Andy Murray to wear a hat more often. For a ginger, he's getting a little bit too cocky for my liking. 18, women's tennis to, become feminine again, really. Sort of get a bit more lady beauty onto the court. Next, second last wish, more retirements of SA sports administrators, less of actual sporting stars. And my final wish for 2014. James O'Connor's rugby career is no doubt going to take a predictable path into the toilet. Now he's going to go play in England. It'll be boozing, bar fights, all that kind of stuff. So my wish is for Justin Bieber to employ him as his third world touring stunt double So essentially, when he goes into these rowdy countries, basically O'Connor walks out into the crowd, everyone's all over him, paparazzi's abusing him, and then when he goes on stage, obviously, then Justin swaps over. And I think he'll basically find his true talents. That'll be his life. Done. Those are my 20 wishes. You want to read all of them, go on to thebounce.co.za. Sean, over to you. What are your wishes for 2014?
A few. Well, I broke them up into two. I went into the sports that I'm most au fait with. I just broke it up into rugby and cricket. And let's start with the rugby one, shall I? And then we can end off with cricket. For the rugby one, for the first wish that I want, more Nick Mallet on our TVs. As much as possible, really. Get rid of the Super Gears ads and put more Mallet on.
I agree.
Just make Boots and all, just 1 2-hour segment of nothing but Mallet. Basically, any Supersport 1 time that isn't got a live rugby game must be Nick Mallet on.
Well, now you're making one of my wishes come true. Make Boots and all more watchable.
Yeah, and maybe he'll be quote-less endlessly as well. It'll just work. More Mallet is what we need. Second wish, halftime rugby interviews to be given the attention they deserve, which is nothing at all. Scrap them, have them over with, have them done with. No one needs to hear a lock puff and pant his way through a 30-second interview from what he saw from the middle of a scrum. Just ditch them. If you're in doubt how to take up that televisual time, refer to wish number 1. Number 3, a widespread upping of TMO standards across the world. And if that can't be done, a SARU stance that resembles the BCCI stance towards UDRS. Because at the moment, these TMO scopes, they are not providing decision-making that's better than on-field officiating, or they have too wide of a scope for their decisions, or in some guys, both. I think the boycott of such implementation of a system is more than appropriate, because it's getting rather tiring.
It is tedious, yeah.
Very, very. Next wish is for Nigel Owen to referee the Springboks versus All Black test, preferably both, and this could possibly be a yearly feature, because any other neutral ref just runs the risk of undermining the contest. And how many Wikipedia pages need to be edited before the IOB click that Nigel Owens is the only one to do? Also, last year, if you notice, the 2 best test matches to watch were the Springboks against the All Blacks at Ellis Park, and New Zealand and Ireland versus New Zealand at the end of the year tour. Both refereed by Nigel Owens. It's not a coincidence.
Interesting, Sean. Interesting. There you go, using your brain again. Something sporting administrators don't.
Next wish is for Super Rugby to scrap the conference system. We know they're in talks now, and let's just get it done. Let's scrap the conference system. It can't be done before 2016. That's locked and loaded, but do the right thing and do it afterwards. And take the 4 points that you get for a bye along with it. Fixture congestion aside, let's just make the tournament more watchable, something that makes sense. And then we'll take it from there. Next wish. I want a DSTV option available to show the camera in Heineken Meyer's coaching box for the full duration of the test match.
Ah, yes, that's a value-added service.
Yeah, I'll call it the Heinecam.
Nice, Sean.
And I think you'll find a few takers that are willing to pay extra their subscription fee if you chuck in the audio feed as well.
Ooh, yeah, that's revenue, huh?
Yeah, I would totally pay an extra $100
Patel right now.
Oh, yes.
He'll be down for it.
Oh, yes. And Heineken mustn't be embarrassed. We just like seeing him care. It's not a laughing at him thing. We just like seeing it. Next wish is want some semblance of movement towards SARU having a central contracting system. The fixture list is not getting smaller, and top players need to be managed by the national body. It needs to be done properly. Now, Rome can't be built on a day in this call. It's going to take a while to unstuff the Blazers in the President's Council, but we need some kind of movement to show that these guys can be overthrown in the future.
I agree. Sean, can I just ask if you don't pound the table like that when you talk, because that's purely for cock and block sound effects. Because now you're giving people the impression you're just doing so much stuff.
Point number 8. The tournament structure of the Currie Cup to be confirmed and ratified with fixtures sorted a week before the tournament. Because at the moment, it looks like it's going to be touch and go whether they pull that off. All these final decisions on the formats that aren't actually final decisions, it just needs to be cleared up, and let's decide on the system. I would like to say that the criteria should be on the best quality of rugby and growing the game and factors like that, but this is a wish list, not a letter to the Tooth Fairy, and I just want them to get it done. Wish number 9 is for John de Villiers to keep up the high standards of ambassadorship. I think it's impossible for the standards to be risen even higher, but I would like to keep it up. The Springboks look like a very likable brand. Guys that enjoy themselves. People nice to interview, nice to go for. And I thought Jean de Villiers set a wonderful example. I wanted to continue.
Yeah.
And my final...
Very good point, Sean.
Yeah, it was. Because like international likability for the Springboks hasn't always been a guarantee. Hell, like with all the All Black supporters around here, local likability hasn't even been guaranteed.
If you leave it up to the referees, it's never going to be guaranteed.
So let's just keep all that good feeling going. Got a good thing going there. Last rugby wish is for Argentina to start getting really good at the sport. Now, I've had the chance, and we're helping them. We're talking about getting them into Super Rugby. You've got to start to see them get better. Because growing the game is not just exposing these guys, it's them getting better at the sport. Now, I should rush through the cricket wishes quickly.
Yeah, I think your rugby one's touched on some very prudent points there, Sean. And now for your cricket wishes.
Yeah. It's a mixture from what you just want to see to what will grow the game. That's what I was going for. And for cricket wishes, wish number 1, I just want Jacques Callis to make a U-turn with his retirement decision and to continue to test cricket. I am sorry, but like Elvis, I am struggling to accept that the king is gone.
I think as well, it'd be such a great sort of overshadowing of the Aussies if Jacques Callis comes back. Because they don't really care about the fact that they've won 5 in the Ashes. I think it gives a toss.
Yeah, I thought about it, and I know he's just retired from the Test team and is staying in the limited over stuff to keep his IPL interests intact and to get in a World Cup team because, of course, he hasn't won a World Cup. If he had won a World Cup by now, he would have been playing Test cricket still as we speak, I reckon, which means to an extent I blame Lance Klusener and Alan Donald for this premature retirement. And it is premature. The man can still make runs.
Sean, I do appreciate a finding of an elaborate scapegoat. Well done. Because I think Alan got off lightly, actually.
That's right up there for when we blamed the IPL on Hansi last year, in my opinion. As for wish number 2, I would like Australia to provide more sweary stump mic sound bites on this tour.
Completely. Again, going back to your Heineken point, this should be an optional extra that we as sport fans can subscribe to.
Yes, the DSTV, the structures are there. There is parental control. Just leave the stump mic on for people that want it. For those that don't want it, just have your parental control intact. Test cricket is a hard sport. It's good to see people play it hard. Some of us enjoy it.
It is, and if you've been, this will actually save the players as well, because you know when they get quoted every now and again, like, oh, he said the F word. It's like, yes, but he's got a pay-per-view function here, so he's in the clear, which will give Australians more chance of being Australians. And we said it last year many times, talking about the rugby players and talking about how they drink and stuff. It's like, that's what they do. That's what they're good at.
It is. There's a naughtiness element to it as well.
Look up the definition of Australian in the dictionary. You will find beer drinking amongst that.
Cricket is a much better sport for sweary Australian cricket captains. Definitely.
Yeah.
Wish number 3, the winning captain of the World T20 in Bangladesh, which is going to take place from the middle of March to the beginning of April. When he accepts the trophy on the podium with all the confetti and Ravi Shastri putting a microphone in his face, I would just like him to calmly say, well, it's been fun, but this team really needs to get back to business and focus on Test cricket.
Yeah.
Let's just get that message sorted out right now. Point number 4. It's going to be a running theme throughout this list. Let me guarantee you is the preservation of Test cricket. Point number 4. Every organized series involving India, any format of the game, any international series that they're involved in must be curtailed by their scheduled opponents accepting an invitation to participate in a hastily organized festival of cricket in this country. Every team that was scheduled to face India should just come by for a 3-day festival, which will include a T20 against the Proteas, a T20 against the Ram Slam, Wham Bam, Thank You Ma'am champions, and a T20 against the Springbok side. If you would like to win tickets for it, just tweet your most offensive BCCI tweets under the hashtag Thank You Haroon Lorgat.
Yes. We haven't actually. We'll talk about the Haroon Lorgat thing. I think next week. I haven't got time this week, but I see that they're sniffing around, creating more controversy around him.
Yes.
Cox.
Carry on. Wish number 5. Every single LBW decision that goes against India must be one that could be reversed if the UDRS was available. Every single one. Let's just drench ourselves in irony. Point number 6. The ICC must ditch the idea of that World Test Championship. We touched on it last year, that stupid 4-team tournament that's going to take place over a month by 4 teams. That's not going to solve Test cricket or the problems of it. No. Just concentrate on making everyone play each other fairly, with a fair schedule, and a fair rotation. Make sure everyone plays each other. Have a ranking system that reflects this. And Test cricket will be in a lot better state. It's not going to be... Test cricket belongs in the context of a series. It doesn't belong in a knockout setup. It just cheapens it.
Because it's about rivalries. It's not about results and things like that. You want to build stuff up. Like the great thing about the the India SA series, even though it's 2 matches, the Stain and Morkel and Philander versus Kohli and Pujara, that was amazing. It only 2 games. Was so robbed of it. Like, the whole thing about Kohli getting a roughie in Durban, although in real time it looked out. That 3rd and 4th, maybe 5th test, how would it have gone from there? Sure, would have been amazing.
Absolutely. So that's
BCCI.
and just spread around those 5 test series as well. Maybe put South Africa in one. I mean, they are the best in the world. Give them a marquee series. I see India are playing England in a 5 test series next year. So don't just give 5 test series to A, whenever India feel like it, B, to that overhyped 3rd, 4th place playoff that goes on between.
Yeah, exactly.
And now for number 8, attendances at South African Test match need to increase by a lot. And we need to make fridges on because it's hard for the rest of the world to listen to our pleas to protect Test cricket when they just tune into us and see an empty stadium.
Should the cricket also go to Nkandla then, just so Durban's sorted?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, well, Nkandla's now a multi-purpose venue.
Nkandla will rock this cricket match.
So now that Nkandla's got cricket and rugby, I think the Heat should go off Jacob now. Because I think he was a visionary in creating a great sporting place for Durban.
I think so. Yeah, we'll do. We can work on that system. Point number 9, want the ICC to realize that limited overs cricket is limited and that you must just stop tinkering with the formula all the time.
It's true. It's like F1. They tinker with it every year.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
The boring middle overs are what they are.
Yeah.
Just leave them be. The idea of being, there's so many like boring, meaningless 5-match, 7-match series going on and their focus is wrong. They're trying to spice up the middle overs. They're trying to make the middle overs in a match more interesting in a meaningless match. Yeah. I say the focus should be to make the match more meaningful, then the boring overs will be less boring. Now, for the wish number 10, the ODI rankings and the T20 rankings will stop fluctuating each match because it makes them look shallow. It does. You must try to get a system where they alter after every series or every tournament, and if you can't do that, just ditch them. It was more fun when we debated it anyway amongst ourselves.
Otherwise, just open up to Twitter. Yeah. People can actually vote who they think's the best.
And I left out one point, but don't worry, I'm going to put it in now, and we'll make it my final quote. People must stop giving publicized quotes about how a bowler or a bowling attack is the best in the world based on taking a few wickets against a side that was ranked 4th. It's embarrassing, and you must stop it.
Well, Sean, thanks so much. Those are some fantastic wishes. I just hope that Sean and our wishes are answered because I thought they were quite balanced, and for the good of everybody, they should come true.
Yeah, I know. There was no I didn't say I just wanted the Springboks and the Proteas to win every single game. No, I tried to grow it all.
Visual radio.
Radio like you've never seen it before.
Balls.co.za